And coming up this evening, Minister for Energy Matthew Opoku Prempeh refutes claims of load shedding despite announcements by ECG and Gridco over gas supply challenges.
I do understand that my colleagues really want to ask questions about whether there is current load management or load shedding or not. Mr. Speaker, I can say on record that there has not been any load management in the last 1 week.
So he can say on record there's not been any load management in the last week. We'll know shortly from the people of Ghana as well as the minority on this particular one. Also, Saglemi Housing Project up for sale as Works and Housing Minister Kodjo reveals 10 companies have already submitted bids.
A couple of months ago, we issued a request for proposals. To date, I am briefed that about 10 companies, international and local, have expressed interest, have picked up forms, have been taken to the project sites. They have had the opportunity to inspect work that has been left there so far.
Well, Minister for Works and Housing is also revealing that only 2% of works required to end the perennial flooding in Accra has been done as Interministerial Committee meets over the matter.
What we requested for was the drainage master plan for the flood control program. And the report that we have is that in the Greater Accra region, for example, only about 2% of the work that has to be done is what collectively as a republic we have invested in.
Public health advocates hail Supreme Court decision reaffirming the Food and Drug Authority's ban on celebrities advertising alcoholic beverages.
We from the public health community, civil society organizations in the country and even beyond the country are very much happy and glad that at least public health have gone beyond. In fact, there's a victory for public health over going and celebrity interests.
Well, we'll hear from applicants who were challenging the ban, who are now saying that they are very disappointed in the decision of the Supreme Court.
Everybody deserves to be able to work in Ghana. Everybody deserves to have peace. Everybody deserves to be able to run their business and run it effectively without affecting other people negatively. So I keep asking myself, is it a war between the FDA and celebrities? And the answer is a no.
Police intercepts 800 bags of cocoa in the Bia West district of the Western North region, heading for Ivory Coast. We have details of these and more coming up shortly in the bulletin. Stay with us.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Grateful for your company this evening and welcome aboard Ghana's most comprehensive news analysis program. Start today here on Starr 103.5 FM. Tonight, as always, we are live on Facebook. So do join us on Facebook at facebook.com/Starr 103.5 FM with your thoughts, your views, your comments, and definitely contributions to the stories that we will be tackling this evening. Alternatively, you can send all of those to our WhatsApp line 0552 880216 0552 880216. I am Joshua. Kodjo Mensah. The details of our stories now. And the Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has disclosed that the country has not experienced load management or shedding for the past week. This is despite an announcement by Gridco and ECG consumers that consumers will experience disruptions in power supply as a result of gas supply challenges from Nigeria over maintenance works. Now, answering questions from MPs on the recent erratic power supply, Dr. Opoku Prempeh explained as at the time the question was filed, the country was experiencing stable power supply. The Mensah South MP further stated the situation has not changed for the past week. Here are excerpts of proceedings.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, have been load shedding power in the last couple of weeks. Hence, the power outage experienced by many consumers across the country? If the answer is no, why the power outage then?
We are pleased to provide the following response to the urgent question. No, ECG is not undertaking load shedding as at the time the question was asked. Mr. Speaker, consumers were experiencing outages due to a number of factors. That included localized outages due to overload on lines and transformers. Mr. Speaker, there are certain areas in this country that all of a sudden the number of people resident or the businesses that have accumulated, especially I can give an example of parts of East Legon, which was a purely residential area, now has become one of the major business districts, increasing power consumption, thereby hampering the existing lines there. So the transformers and the lines have to be updated. The reason why ECG went further to say that they were not load shedding because most of those instances were not planned, and so they couldn't have come up or come out with a program to say that they were load shedding. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the minister is saying that there is no timetable for whatever. If you don't have load shedding, how will you describe the current situation? It's a situation where you have a light today, tomorrow you don't have light. How do you describe it? How will you describe that situation?
Mr. Speaker, I want to again come. I do understand that my colleagues really want to ask questions about whether there is current load management or load shedding or not. Mr. Speaker, the House allows you, I can say on record that there has not been any load management in the last 1 week.
So that's the comments from the Energy Minister. There has not been any load management in the last week. And what we're experiencing in your various neighborhoods is as a result of localized faults and the fact that, well, transformers are overburdened, so some of them are blowing up, and that's why we are getting power outages. But let's get to the phone lines and speak to MP for Bongo, Edward Barr, on this development. Honorable, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So the minister says that there is no doomsday and that what we are experiencing is as a result of localized faults. And he can say on record that for the past week, there has been no load shedding whatsoever. But it comes at a time where ECG and Gridco have also told us to brace up for the outages owing to interruptions in gas supply. How do we marry these two situations?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that the background to it was that it was an agent question that was asked. And then basically it was to even just talk about the challenges we had for March, if you recall, when we had serious problems. So in his response to Parliament, he indicated that there was no doomsday and that there had never been doomsday. So it meant that from March, when we're going through all the challenges and then we're going off, he came to Parliament and so said that there was no doomsday, but that there were just some localized issues. It was only when in the court, as part of the question, because I then got up specifically and asked him that if he felt that there was no doomsday, how come that Gridco, in a letter that was addressed to him as the Minister of Energy, he indicated that they indicated that ECG was refusing to shed load. He still went on to say that, look, all that we were doing was maintenance. And for me, as an individual, look, one of the things I don't take his word seriously. I look at the people who manage the system. Gridco, for example, if it is the past 1 week, Gridco and ECG came out with a joint statement that indicated that, look, one of their suppliers of gas from Nigeria was undergoing maintenance, and on the basis of that, there was going to be a curtailment of supply of gas. On the strength of that, Ghanaians should brace up for some load management. Load management is the same as load shedding. And so for the minister to state what his agencies have openly issued a statement and jointly signed by, which is very unusual anyway, but jointly signed by two agencies, indicating that, look, we are going to have these problems. I believe that I would take the agency's words more than his.
But he's the minister that supervises the sector overall.
But he's the minister of supervising the sector. But if I were to sit down and look at the system control agency, that is Grateful, and look at the company that is responsible for giving you power in your house. These are the two people who are telling us that you are going to have challenges and therefore there will be some power curtailment. If these two people tell me this, and he, the minister, who even in March was not in control of the sector by virtue of the fact that it got to a point that his agency heads were fighting as who was responsible for curtailing power to Ghanaians. And he had no control over that. I would definitely believe the agencies more than him.
So where then is this disconnect coming from? Because usually we would have expected that these two people or these two sides will be singing the same hymn.
No, the disconnect is just the issue of dishonesty. Basically, he just simply did not want to accept that there has been there was load shedding. Recall that in Kumasi or somewhere like that, a journalist again asked him whether there was doomsday or not, and he indicated that as far as he knows, he knew that there was no doomsday, and that those who were indicating that there was doomsday in Ghana were doomsayers or whatever. I don't know exactly what the exact words he used. Words that seem to have even been disrespecting Ghanaians, even though they were still going through those challenges. So this is just a repetition of what he said in Kumasi, and I am not surprised about that.
So, in light of all these and what we've been told by ECG and Gridco in their press release, that we should brace up for more of this, do you foresee the situation getting any better?
Look, there's a general problem of the sector, which is the issue of liquidity, the issue of money. Look, any time we have some respite, it's just because government has run around to get some small money and give it to the sector. We will come back to the same problem. The problem has not been solved. It is just like you having a sore, and by virtue of the fact that it stops hurting, you think that the sore is healed. The sore is never healed. The problem, the systemic problem, still exists. The bankruptcy of the sector, particularly I'm talking, and when I use the word sector, I'm talking about the power subsector. The insolvency of the sector, the fact that utilities are not able to meet their operational costs, those problems still exist. What government has done is just for the past few weeks thereabout to run around and get something small and throw it at them. That is not solving the problem. Because why do I say so? If you have a debt stock of gas alone from the OCTP partners and Ghana Gas combined, about 1.2 billion, that's a debt. If you have a debt to IPPs, which is a moving scale, between 1.2 billion and 1.5 billion dollars, and all these figures that I'm mentioning them in dollars. If you have set, that's almost about how much? That's almost about $3 billion in just the power subsector alone. It tells you the government of the problem. And so, for me, that is not a solution to the problem. The problem still exists. It's just that normally it's just like you are there and then you are so, I don't know how to put it. You are so, it's a symptom that they have dealt with, and the symptom is the fact that for now we seem not to be getting in a very large scale as we were getting in March, the lights going off. That being said, it is going to come back again. And if you want, mark my words, that in the next month or two, we will come back to this and you will call me and we'll have this conversation.
Well, very well. Thank you so much for engaging with us this evening. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Right, so that's the Member of Parliament for Bongo Edward Bawa. He is not mincing words at all. He says that if government does not address the financial issues regarding the power or the energy sector, in the next month or two, we are going back to what happened in March, where we are going to have longer hours without power. Well, this is Starr today on Starr 103.5 FM, and I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. I am no prophet of doom, but residents of Accra, the capital of Ghana, will continue to endure flooding anytime it rains for the foreseeable future. And this is only because only 2% of drainage works needed to address the flooding of the capital after rains has been completed. According to the Minister for Works and Housing, Kodjo Nkrumah, the development has triggered his demand for a drainage master plan from the Hydrological Survey Department aimed at ending the ritual. Addressing the media in Parliament, the Ofuasi Ayrebi MP disclosed there is an interministerial committee engagement scheduled to address the development.
Requested for was the drainage master plan for the flood control program. And the report that we have is that in the Greater Accra region, for example, only about 2% of the work that has to be done is what collectively as a republic we have invested in. And that is why even when you have regular amounts of rainfall, you see the challenges that you are seeing. Some of, or some parts of that project are being done by the Garrett program. And that, as well as I'm sure you are aware, has been behind schedule. We've openly said that it's behind schedule and that we need the consultants, the World Bank team, and the contractors to speed up a bit so that we can get work done. The Kaneshi area, for example, we need to compensate those who need compensation, move them away and start the drainage works there so that the perennial floods in that area are kept. So it's delayed. We are going through the processes. Next week, I have a meeting of the Interministerial Committee now that the top-up funds has been made available. And myself and my colleagues and the project implementation unit will be working to ensure that we're able to catch up as quickly as possible. It's been approved by Parliament. It is not in our custody. You know that after approval, you go through a lot of processes, but we want to start the necessary works to ensure that we're able to catch up with what's been delayed so far.
So you heard the Minister for Works and Housing, Kodjo Nkrumah. Now, he's also disclosed that 10 foreign and local firms have submitted bids for the Saglemi affordable housing project started under the Mahama administration. Addressing the media in Parliament, Kodjo Nkrumah disclosed the committee will be put together to vet the bids and settle on the best based on financial and technical strengths.
We announced a process through which government will select a private developer or a consortium of private developers to complete the uncompleted Saglemi affordable housing project and operationalize it. Now, you recall that government initially took a loan of about $200 million to build 5,000 housing units. 1,506 were partially completed, and that's what you often see at Saglemi. 3 major components that were missing: water, electricity, and sewage works. When the Ghana Institute of Surveyors did the assessment, they said we needed about $100 million to complete this 1,506. And government took a decision that within the difficult financial constraints, it's very difficult to find that extra $100 million after $200 million has been spent. So Cabinet took a decision that we should select a private developer or a consortium of private developers and let them make the investment in it so that we can operationalize it. And you are correct. A couple of months ago, we issued a request for proposals. To date, I am briefed that about 10 companies, international and local, have expressed interest, have picked up forms, have been taken to the project sites. They have had the opportunity to inspect work that has been left there so far, the necessary dilapidation reports, and they are putting together their proposals. According to the work plan that we put together, by the 8th or on the 8th of July, we expect to formally receive all of the bids. We'll do it openly in front of all of you, and then we will hand over the bids that we've received to an independent evaluation entity, which will give us an evaluation report. And then based on that evaluation report, government will proceed to select one of the bidders. It may be a single entity or a consortium of entities. And when that selection is done, we will get the necessary cabinet approvals, sign a contract with this person, and then hand over the entity to this entity, or hand over Saglemi to this entity to complete and operationalize that project. So that is where we are now. Currently, about 10 entities have expressed interest and are going through the processes. We expect to receive their bids on the 8th of July. We're also going through the process of selecting this independent evaluation organization. We'll be going before PPA to get one selected, and then they will do the evaluation, and based on that, we will make a decision. We are committed to completing these uncompleted projects.
So you heard there, Kodjo Nkrumah, the Minister of Works and Housing. But let's get on the phone lines now and engage the ranking on the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament, and he's also the Member of Parliament for Doma West, Vincent Opoa-Asamoah. Honourable, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Good evening, sir.
Great. So we are told that 10 companies have actually provided bids for the completion and operationalization of the Saglemi housing project. Are you aware of this?
I'm hearing it for the first time. Honorable Ponkruma, you can understand the zeal to complete the project. If you want to talk about the history of this project, 7 years ago, this government had been in power for about 7 years. And just 6 months to the election, this is the time that they are rushing to look for private company to complete this project. I've always had issues with this project, this private engagement in this very project, because I thought government have what it takes to complete them. But this is a government project, and this is a decision that MPP government would like to take. All that we need to do is to ensure that right things are done. So my only worry is that just like they want to sell these snakes properties to themselves, this is exactly what that's my fear, that it may end up in the same way. They will just organize some cronies so that they can take it. But at the end of everything, we are also there as an opposition to ensure that the right things are done. And subsequently, when there's a change of government, we'll ensure that this project is thoroughly audited, because we've had a lot of issues. The last time we went to the site at Saglama, if you can remember, we went with some of these media people. The level of rot, because of the 7 years of neglect, the level of rot and thievery that are occasioned at that place. No one should be happy with what has happened to Saglame. It's one investment to me. I was very satisfied. It was the first time I visit the place and look at the quality of work that was done, the road network, very beautiful. But because of change of government, someone came in, decided to just demonize the previous government, so that at least we give the dog the bad name so that we can hang it. That is exactly what this government has done. Very good investment, but let's reduce the value so that we can clear. And eventually, we have to look for those people. If the process is so transparent, they go for the best that the Ghanaians can get, the value for money. That is what we are concerned about. But so far as we are concerned, this thing has not come to our table. We need to probably request for additional information on this so that we can make a proper input.
So as it stands now, you have mentioned that you've always had a challenge with private participation in the Saglame housing project because you believe that government has the wherewithal to be able to execute the project. So if that's the case, what do you think is accounting for government saying, you know what, we do not have the funds to be able to complete this, and we really need private participation to be able to operationalize this project?
Senior, I'm telling you, if the government had decided to prioritize this project, they would have had the money to do it. And just like I started, let's leave it there. Let's demonize the whole project. Let's reduce the value so that we can clear, so that eventually they can sell it to themselves. That is what we have done 7 years. And if you go to the site, there's no even security. We have a lot of building materials on site. Lot of building materials. You go there, you'll be shocked. PVC pipes and the tiles outside. And who cares? The last time we went there, we were there for about an hour before the police came to us to ask our mission for coming to that. Meanwhile, you got there, and if you go around the vicinity, they will tell you that some trucks came to pack a lot of things. It got stuck in the next morning. Meanwhile, they couldn't get anyone to arrest. They came to steal, and unfortunately for them, the car got broke down. Yet, they did not arrest anyone. So to me, they decided that let's run down this project. After all, some people are in court. We give them all the bad name so that getting to the tail end of our administration, we can just find one of us and then we dispose those structures to them. And that is exactly what they are doing. It is a charade. What they are doing to me, just to at least I like the confidence of the current minister. He's a communicator. He communicates very well. But at the end of it, I am very sure, confident nothing is going to happen. At least they will just dispose it to themselves at a very low price so that they can justify the reason why they gave to private developers.
But the minister says that, well, you know what, we've received 10 bids. We are going to make sure that there is an independent auditing of this bid so that we ensure that the people of Ghana get value for money, and then there will be a lot of transparency.
What is that independent? What is that independent person is talking about? Alan, he mentioned what is it ESL? I don't know. What institution is he talking about? That will give us even independent assessment of the value of the structure. I will be very, very happy if we are able to get that independent, will be true independent, to give us the current assessment, the real value of the project as of now. And then when we left it in 2016, I know there have been a lot of theory, it has lost a lot of value. But to me, looking at the term, even the CD, the value of the CD at that time, and looking at it now, if anything at all, we should have even had appreciation in value. But, Senior, you go there, the media should go there, and then you see the level of deterioration of the place. The level of deterioration because of the neglect. For 7 years, no security, nothing. And what do you expect? You've stolen doors. All the fittings have been stolen. All the fittings have been stolen. So what company would even get that bid? And what processes are they going to use to even select that independent institution that is going to do the assessment at the side there? All these things, Senior, I don't have any belief or trust in this government.
You do not have any confidence, even though he's telling us that the process will be very, very transparent?
Have you had any transparent assessment under this government? Very, very transparent. Have you had it before? For me, tell me one. I just don't have any confidence in them, my brother. No confidence in them completely. At the end of it, I'm not a prophet of doom. Just like what happened to the snake houses, that is what happened to Saglana.
And for your side in Parliament, I'm sure you're not going to sit down and watch what happened to Snito happen to Saglemi, right?
Oh, but for a member of Parliament, Saglemi would have gone by now. So that is exactly what they are going to do to Saglemi. You know, Kodjo and then some members on the minority side at least raised the alarm about the snakes housing scheme, and then TUC and other people also came in. And that is what we are going to do with this one. I'm sure within the next 6 months, nothing is going to happen. But if you are not transparent enough, let me bet you, the next NDC government will have to revisit it.
Very well. Honorable, thank you. Thank you so much for your time with us this evening. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Very well. So you heard there the ranking member on the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament. He's also the member of Parliament for Doma West, Vincent Opon Asamoah, speaking to us. This is Starr today here on Starr 103.5 FM. Stay with us.
Starr today, first, fast, and credible.
So it's been a very busy day at the Supreme Court today, and the reaction has been quite divided, I should say, because the public health advocates, they are hailing the decision of the Supreme Court to reaffirm the Food and Drugs Authority's ban on celebrities advertising alcoholic beverages. The Apex Court, by a 5-2 majority decision today, dismissed a suit brought against the Food and Drugs Authority over its directive banning celebrities from advertising alcoholic beverages. According to the panel of 7 chaired by the Chief Justice Gertrude Saki Tokuno, the directive is neither excessive nor unreasonable and does not contravene provisions in the Constitution, as argued by the plaintiff Mark Darlington Osai. The FDA's directives, which barred the use of celebrities in plugging alcoholic beverages, were aimed at protecting minors from being influenced by celebrities into alcoholism. Mark Osai, the manager of Regium Boli and Screwface, dissatisfied with the directive, issued a writ at the Supreme Court on November 11, 2022, saying the FDA's 2015 regulations are discriminatory against the creative arts industry. Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at FDA, Joseph Benny, welcomed the judgment of the Supreme Court and underscored the influence of celebrities on children. He further urged them to look for other available opportunities to make their money.
I think the Supreme Court spoke, and I don't see that as a loss. I don't know who lost in that, but I think it's in the interest of public health and safety that some of these things are done. Every we have nothing against anybody, nothing against any celebrity, nothing against any well-known personality. That is how it is couched there. It is just in the interest of public health and safety. We have a large population of people who look up to these celebrities or well-known personalities. They follow whatever they do. They imitate what they do. We know what alcohol can do to health. And it is our prayer that all of us will agree to protect this large population that we have against the dangers of alcohol. That is all we are asking for. Our friends can advertise or endorse any product, but just let's take this alcohol out of it. Look at this from other countries, and we know what is happening to the youth who are hooked on alcohol. And it is not just the alcohol. The most painful aspect of it is that they use the alcohol as a vehicle and lace it with other things. So you think it is even just alcohol, but it is laced with other serious products that are destroying human lives. And that is the angle FDA is coming from.
Well, Chief Executive Officer of Image Bureau, George Quay, expressed disappointment at the judgment of the Supreme Court affirming the FDA's ban is counterproductive.
Everybody deserves to be able to work in Ghana. Everybody deserves to have peace. Everybody deserves to be able to run their business and run it effectively without affecting other people negatively. So I keep asking myself, is it a war between the FDA and celebrities? And the answer is a no. We've said it time and again that celebrities are people who can help raise children positively. They have a certain class, a certain following that people look up to. So you need to find creative ways to rather use them and endear them toward your brand and pull them to your side. You do not fight and push them away by passing laws that will make it difficult for them to feed. So I ask myself, so if, for instance, I'm sitting on radio tomorrow morning and I have an alcoholic beverage LPM in front of me and I read it, have I advertised an alcoholic beverage? If the answer is yes, because it's Josh Quay's voice on that product, and a man was driving his kid to school and they had that LPM, I've read that LPM, did you win or lose? You understand me? If another celebrity, if Andy Dosty is doing a show and he reads an LPM, if he is attending an event, say the TGMAs, and an alcoholic beverage brand is sponsoring, a segment of the show, and he comes, and then this particular category is probably sponsored by that, kids are watching that show, it will be shown during prime time, it will be shown during the daytime, kids will watch. So what did you really gain? This is not something that I think that FDA should be hard and fast about. I think, just like my colleague Mr. Ofuli has said a few minutes ago, I think what the FDA needs to do is to find a middle ground, to sit with these popular people and find the best way to ensure that we can all eat, we can all educate, we can all inspire, and we can all ensure that alcoholic beverages are not destroying our children. I have children, and I wouldn't be happy if some celebrity or somewhere is influencing them negatively, but I'll be happy if some celebrity somewhere is influencing them positively. You understand me? And how can we do that?
So you heard there, George Quay, Chief Executive Officer of Image Bureau. Now, Labram Musa is Executive Director of Programs for Vision for Alternative Development. And he said the decision of the court is a victory for public health advocacy.
We from the public health community, civil society organizations in the country and even beyond the country are very much happy and glad that at least public health have gone, beyond. In fact, there's a victory for public health over, celebrity and celebrity interests. I'm saying this because, and let me also thank the Ethical Court of the Land for prioritizing public health over, the interests of few individuals who obviously, from the look of things, They don't prioritize the public health of the citizenry, especially our children, who are the very reason why this law was passed by the Draft Authority. So for us, we are grateful and we are thankful for that. Now, I would say that this case is actually going to be a test case, as you heard from the judgment. I won't say from the judgment, from the verdict. It was clearly stated that this is novel, and indeed, Ghana is going. This case is going to be, cited in many, law courts, because we've not had instances of this nature before. So for us, we are happy that at least Ghana, has made history by ensuring that we are able to reduce the carnage on our roads, the extent to which, the extent to which non-communicable diseases. I'm talking about the diabetes, the hypertensions that comes as a result of using this product. So for us, we are glad and we are happy that public health have won over interests of some few individuals and who are just trying to amass wealth for themselves and not for the interests of the young people who are looking up to them for their interests.
So you heard there, Labram Musa. He is the Executive Director of Programs for Vision for Alternative Development. And they have also issued a statement on this particular Supreme Court ruling. And I would also be engaging him on this particular matter as and when he answers our calls. But they've released a statement a short while ago, basically chronicling things that some celebrities should note. And it's a 4-pointer. And okay, so let me take you through. It says alcohol consumption has far-reaching consequences, and the preceding this is it is important for our celebrities to note the following. 1, alcohol consumption has far-reaching consequences affecting individuals, families, and communities. As influential figures, we believe you can play a pivotal role in shaping public opinion and behavior. Alcohol consumption contributes to health issues, addiction, poverty, industrial accidents, road traffic crashes, among others. Now, 2, young people idolize celebrities. Another reason why they believe celebrities should not be seen endorsing alcoholic beverages or advertising alcoholic products. Celebrities, we invite you to stand with us, say no to alcohol endorsements, and use your platform to advocate healthier choices that will improve the health and well-being of present and future generations. And celebrities, your voice matters. Let's create a world where alcohol isn't glamorized, but health, well-being, and positive choices take center stage. And we salute that section of celebrities who openly supported the FDA's position. And so that's contained in the statement issued by the Vision for Alternative Development Ghana. The Executive Director of Programs, Labram Musa, signed this particular one, and I will be getting to him shortly on phone to have a conversation on this development as to why this, they believe, is a win for public health, even though the celebrities or the well-known public figures are also stating that this is rather takes food from their table, and it really does not change much in terms of what they need to do. And it's also a means to prevent them from making money where they're working in these instances. So we'll get to the phone lines and get to understand exactly how this is a win for public health as against celebrities and what they need to do to make money. And we'll have that conversation shortly. But you can also join us on Facebook because we're streaming live at facebook.com/Starr103.5 FM on this particular subject matter. Let me hear your thoughts, your comments, your views and contributions. And let me take you through stories that we've already done here on the bulletin this evening. We heard from the Minister of Energy, who is refuting claims of load shedding despite the announcement by ECG and Gridco over gas supply challenges. And we also heard from the minority on this particular one. Just before this, we talked about the South Glemmy housing project. As government is inviting private participation, minority says, well, this smacks of another state capture. Let's get to the phone lines and speak to Labram Musa. He's Executive Director of Programs for the Vision for Alternative Development VALD on this particular one. Labram, thank you so much for joining us on Starr today.
Thank you for having me.
So today you seem very excited in court after the decision, but really, what does this decision mean for public health?
Thank you very much for having me, and greetings to your cherished viewers, listeners. Let me say that indeed, today is a great day. Today, public health have won over commercial and interest of a few individuals who are just interested in what they earn, but forgetting about the untold hardship that what they are into would have on many people, especially on our children and young people who are yet unborn. And of course, that's the reason why the FDA, in its mandate, to protect public health and safety. So for us today, we're so happy that indeed the Supreme Court, spoke in our favor to ensure that at least we are able to reduce, the extent to which our children are exposed to, unhealthy commodities and also reducing the public health burden that individuals are facing, our parents are facing on a daily basis, and of course the nation at large is facing because of this unhealthy commodity. In fact, that's how it has been classified. The WHO has classified these products as health-harming products. So if something is health-harming, definitely you, as a country, you necessarily must find a way to ensure that you're able to reduce the extent to which you expose, especially the vulnerable ones, children and women, from the devastating effect that it could have on us as a people.
So, Labram, now the argument is that, well, we see these adverts anyway, though sadly, in the music videos of some artists, they show these alcoholic beverages in their music videos. Children still consume this content and all of that. So what really will the ban achieve?
Well, so you see, Rome was not built in a day. You agree with me. So obviously, this intervention will come in bits and pieces. This is the first one. I know there has been other interventions already. Recently we increased, we urged Parliament through the Ministry of Finance to increase taxes on healthy commodities. One of the commodities that was affected was alcohol. So currently we have at least some level of taxes, on alcoholic beverages. So this is an intervention. Obviously, but this intervention is also to protect our children from. So the intervention will come, but it will come in phases. So this is the first one. We are restricting, we are banning celebrities from alcohol advertisements. And also, there's also a restriction, a restriction on alcohol advertisements. There's a restriction. You cannot advertise from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening. So within that period, nobody should ever see alcoholic beverage being advertised. If you spot any, please be a good citizen and report it to the FDA, and the FDA will take any media person who is violating that rule, because I guess not many are aware of that. Now, so that is an intervention that the FDA have put in place. And then this one has been there since 2015. Unfortunately, however, McDellington, felt that he needed to test the law. And indeed, he tested the law. We are happy that he did that, because this, for me, I think there's going to be a test case. It's going to be a reference point for many, alcohol, public health policy formulation in many countries across the globe. In fact, this is novel. And if you were there today at the court, when the judgment was being passed or being read, indeed, she mentioned that it's novel. It's novel because this is one of its kind. And we are hoping that Ghana will become a shining star. And let me tell you one thing, throughout the 2 to 3 years when this court case was ongoing from 2022, in fact, the public health community, not only in Ghana, globally, all of them were very much interested and were monitoring and watching, the proceedings and how it's going to go. So for us, we are confident that indeed public health will always triumphant over interest of few individuals. And when I say few individuals, because you can count the number of celebrities who were up at harm. And indeed, it was not even the celebrities who went there. It was, somebody who had a passion for promoting, music video, and he took the matter to court because the celebrities themselves knew that this is not a case that they will have it easy. Trust me. Today, for instance, if you can really count the number of celebrities who were there, because they knew that before they lost the battle. I only saw 2 celebrities, who were, one media person and one other person who were at the court. But civil society and public health advocates were there in our numbers to support, the call for public health to continue to triumphant over, especially because it has to do with our children. And everything about children, please, we must all prioritize it because we all have children. I was asking Darlington this afternoon that, for me, as I speak to you now, my kids, when they close from school, they go home. And when they go home, now all parents are working, mothers are working, fathers are working. We all get home late in the evening. Who do we leave our kids to? At the mercy of television. You can imagine children watching cartoons and all of a sudden then alcoholic beverages being pop up. So the point is our children, have been influenced over the years. And FDA and the Ministry of Health feels that it's a no now. Let's see how we can correct the mistakes and see how we can reduce the extent to which our children are exposed to it. If you remember, somewhere in 2017, 2015, Parliament even raised an issue about the excess alcoholic beverages on our screen, and the fact that if we don't do anything to curtail or reduce it, it's going to have a very huge pandemic on all of us as a people. So indeed, today is a great day for us, and for me, I call on everyone, to say a big thank you to the Supreme Court, and also commend the FDA to do more to protect all of us, because we always come at FDA that they're not doing A, they're not doing B, they're not doing C. But the point is, this one, in fact, for me, I pat them at the back, and I continue to urge them to do more. We'll continue to work with them to look at other interventions that will continue to reduce the extent to which me and you and our children, the vulnerable, are protected from, any health-harming product, not only alcohol, but even tobacco, sugar-sweetened beverages. They are all there. And let me also advise my well-known celebrities who are saddened about this.
They are not happy. They are not happy with you at all. They say you've taken food from their table.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that they should be happy. That you see, even in the sight of God, we must be seen to doing things that will support, support the vulnerable in a very good way, not in a bad way. Look at what was happening at our Reina Center, for instance, when they shut it down at Kumasi Teaching Hospital. We were all at arms telling government that they should open it up. But the point is this: if we reduce these products consumption, what will happen is that we will save a huge number of people who are dying from renal problems, from cancer problems, from kidney problems, and are seeking for help. And all of these things, you cannot take alcohol out. You can't take tobacco out. These are the products that are increasing our disease burden. Because, some years back, you and I know how alcohol was, but now almost everybody is invested in alcoholic beverages. Why? What at all have we seen? And because of the lies that that accompanies this advertisement, aphrodisiac. Every alcoholic beverage have aphrodisiac, components. What is all this? And I said, who told you, Joshua, and me, that's how they call it, that we are unable to perform in bed unless we take alcoholic beverages. I don't think any of our wives or our girlfriends have ever gone to tell
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. The girlfriend bit,
yeah, but yeah. So I agree with them. I know that it's a difficult time for them, but we can always diversify. I can mention a lot of celebrities who are in support of this FDA call because they believe that our children have to be protected. I will mention one person. What's her name? Mama Brown. Look at the kind of advert she's running. And she's doing very well. We can diversify into other areas. Let's diversify into other areas so that we can make a lot of public health impact, and not especially on health-harming products. Health-harming products, what will you say lying down and seeing people dying out of, a product that you are promoting so hard and people are getting the diseases? Meanwhile, you're not investing your money into those sectors. But we don't even want the money to go into those sectors. The point is that they reduce the extent to which our children are exposed. Sometimes I don't want to go beyond our children. It has to do with me and you. And I was saying that our children, not even our children alone, me and you know what advertisement can do to even the elderly, not even young people, the elderly. So the point is advertisement plays a very crucial role in promoting, products, whether good or bad.
Right.
So that is how
finally, Labram, so now that the Supreme Court has given a decision on this, what next for public health experts and analysts in terms of also keeping... Is this the end of the fight, basically?
No, I wouldn't say it's a beginning of a fight. I think that this verdict is going to strengthen us as the more. It's going to urge us to do more to support public health. It's going to help us to look at what other countries are doing, like the US, like the Canadas, how what they are doing to promote public health to ensure they are able to protect our children. And it urges us more. To do more. So that's what I can show that the celebrity that they call it. As the FDA says, their doors are open for more discussion. We want them to come on board to help us propagate. They should be good ambassadors for health harming product reduction among our children. Right. This is what we want them to do. We want to see them do more because, Chief, let me say, the Ministry of Health is struggling with the disease burden. It's overtaking us. There's no money to cure people who are suffering from these diseases. So please, prevention is what everybody is talking about, but nobody is investing in health promotion. And this is what we want the media to also help us to drive.
Very well, very well. Laurent, thank you so much, and we appreciate your time this evening on Starr Today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right. So that's Labraham Musa. He's the executive director of programs for Vision for Alternative Development, speaking to us on the back of the Supreme Court's verdict, basically on celebrities and endorsing an alcoholic advertisements and more. Well, while we're talking about health issues and what happened in court today, Ace broadcast journalist Nana Banamwa is also calling for a broader conversation on voluntary organ donation to offer a permanent solution for end-stage kidney patients in the country. According to her, it is about time the country establishes a policy to that effect, as many renal patients are unable to go through their regular dialysis sessions due to the cost involved. Nana Abanamwa made the call at the Kolibut Renal Unit, where she celebrated her birthday today with end-stage kidney patients, with the aim of raising 100,000 cedis to assist them with their dialysis sessions.
Of dialysis in the country has been of great concern, especially to patients who are between the ages of 19 and 59 years, as they did not benefit fully from government's absorption of cost of dialysis. Government absorbed the cost of dialysis sessions for patients below 18 years and over 60 years after media reports on the plight of patients who could barely keep up with the 491 cedis per session. It is against this backdrop that the Ace broadcast journalist decided to celebrate her birthday with the patients to tell their story, raise awareness, as well as to raise 100,000 cedis to support them.
I wanted to make my birthday this year more purposeful. Every year I party more. I do a bit of charity every year, but the party is always more. This year I decided to do something completely different. I'm not partying at all. I want a very quiet birthday. Whatever I was going to spend on a party, I think it should go into something more meaningful. And so that's why I chose this day. But the plan was not to be with patients on dialysis treatment. But I received a letter from them. The letter was quite blackmailing. I felt emotionally blackmailed by that letter. But after reading that letter, I was compelled to drop every plan that I had and to dedicate my birthday to them. And so that's why I'm here. My target was to raise 100,000 cedis for them. So far, it's been wonderful.
Again, Nanaba Namwa called for an open conversation on voluntary organ donation to offer a permanent treatment for end-stage kidney patients.
We need to do more as a country. It's wonderful that now patients under 18 and over 60 are covered. So that group, the vulnerable group between 19 and 59, are not covered. But the kidney treatment is not cheap. The dialysis treatment is not cheap. 491 cedis a session. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of money. And so I think that we should take it more seriously, because it could happen to anybody at all. Anybody at all, you don't just get it. You don't call for it. Anybody at all can get it. So we should take it more seriously. I also think that we should start a conversation about voluntary organ donation. The fact that you commit to donating an organ when you die doesn't mean you're going to die tomorrow. I mean, death is inevitable. Everybody will die. And so if we are able to get a law to back it, where people would say, oh, I'm committing my heart, my kidney, this or that, for when the Almighty calls me, it should go to somebody who absolutely needs it. I think it's a conversation we must have as a nation.
End-stage renal patient Thomas Khan called for the establishment of more dialysis centers in the country, as well as more supports for dialysis patients.
We all need to come together as citizens, and it is our plea that corporate Ghana and individuals will come to our aid, because this whole dialysis or kidney renal disease issue is a national crisis. It can happen to anybody at any time. For instance, where I do mine, the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, there is a challenge there. And for more than a week, we've not been able to go to the units for dialysis, all because of quality assurance. Because of the problem, they want to make sure that it is resolved before we can go there. And in the meantime, we only have to resort to a private facility. And I'm sure that if we had many of such units, we wouldn't have been traveling to either Accra or Takoradi, or the closest, which is Winneba, which is also quite a distance.
Some of the patients also expressed their gratitude to Nana Banamwa for the gesture.
If I say I'm not grateful, then I'm ungrateful. I'm ungrateful. I really thank her very much. I thank her because we didn't expect that. We didn't expect that.
President of the Renal Patients Association, Kodjo reaffirmed every cedi raised will be duly accounted for.
What we are going to do, we don't know the amount yet. When we see the amount, we calculate per session, each person. Core. I mean, if it can take care of maybe 5, 6, 10 for each person, we just do it. We let the accounts give us the total bill. Then we just write a check for them. Then we announce it to our people that maybe from this day or this month going, you are not supposed to pay because it has been paid for.
The celebration saw lots of individuals and corporate institutions donating towards the cause. The patients were also treated to a great feast.
Well, so that's Evelyn Araba Adu's report, and we'd like to say happy birthday to Nana Abba Anamwa. Keep impacting your world. We appreciate you greatly. But let's take a bit longer at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, because the Ghana Institute of Clinical Genetics is urging government to absorb cost of laboratory tests required during treatment for sickle cell patients. The institute believes this will enhance quality healthcare for persons living with sickle cell, especially in emergency situations. It revealed that an alarming 2% of all live births in Ghana annually have sickle cell, adding that Ghana is one of the sickle cell endemic countries in the world. However, speaking to Starr News on the commemoration of World Sickle Cell Day, Director of the Ghana Institute of Clinical Genetics, Dr. Ama Enima Benneth Akwesi-Kuma, also appealed to government to expand the sickle cell clinic at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital.
Sickle cell is very prevalent in our society. 2% of newborns born annually have sickle cell disease. And if you look at the world, most of the people with sickle cell disease are in sub-Saharan Africa. So we plead that the government will take up some of their costs in terms of health care, so that they will be able to come to hospital and then assess. I know the government has played a role in hydroxyurea provision. We hope that the government will continue to do so that a lot more people will benefit. When you are on hydroxyurea, you need to be monitored, and this comes with labs, and these labs cost some money. So if the government can also absorb this health insurance, that would be good. It has helped us and it's going to enhance us, our management. What came out of that interaction was the need to have more facilities here, more equipment so that they can do most of the tests here instead of going out to other labs to do it. The urgent need for more space so that we can have many more activities going on here. but most especially a ward. Currently, we are an OPD facility. We don't have any rooms for wards, so they want to see a place where they can have a ward. In other words, they're even asking for a hospital on its own to address patients living with sickle cell disease. So today we are highlighting sickle cell disease. We are asking people to come and donate. We have listened to those with sickle cell disease, and we are also pleading with the government and the general public to come to their need.
Well, some sickle cell patients also shared the ordeal with Star News.
Government should, or the health facilities should educate youth especially about the illness in like going to schools, SHS, and letting it know. With the wards, I've not actually had crisis and I've been here. Maybe when I have crisis, I go to, like maybe from school, I go to maybe Dansuma Polyclinic or somewhere close by. So after that, then I'll come here. But yeah, I think they should have a place for you to stay because they are the ones that can take care of you better. Because when you go, I went to the small polyclinic and my breathing was like 80 something, and they didn't allow me to come home. They were like, I have to be there till my breathing is like 99, 100. It has to be okay before they let me go home. But this place, they think it's okay. Like this place is okay for you to have that kind of level of breathing. So I think they should build more of wards, and the place has to be 24 hours. So anytime you come, you can get treatment.
I think that it's very, very important that the place should be expanded by way of providing a ward, at least if not a whole this thing. It should be a ward, one-story building block. They are closing, and so you'll be asked even if the sickness hasn't come down, they will give you some medicine and they will ask you to go home. Or if it is so serious, they will ask you to go to the polyclinic. Now, the hustle and bustle you go through there and all that, I think that if they should erect a whole ward here, it will be better. It will be better, yes. So that when you come here, you know everything is centered here and you'll be taken care of. No matter the pay, when you come and you come in the morning, by afternoon time, you are okay.
Starr Today, first, fast, and credible.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
You're still listening to Starr News and Starr Today here on Starr 103.5 FM. Let's do some other stories. And the former chief executive of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation and a renowned Ghanaian academic and lawyer, Chachu Chikata, has raised concerns about the future of international investment in Ghana's real estate sector. He warns that the country risks losing valuable foreign investment if local industry players continue to disregard important global standards. Speaking on the topic of the real estate industry's role in national development, Chachu Chikata lamented the widespread neglect of environmental measures by Ghanaian real estate developers. Listen.
Chachu Chikata was speaking during a lecture series organized by the Chartered Institute of Realtors in Accra.
It's unfortunate that people don't appreciate the importance of environmental sustainability. And so things like forests, areas for parks and gardens are sometimes being invaded, destroyed in the interest of real estate. But that is not sustainable because forests are important for the environment. Forests are important for Mother Earth to replenish itself. And I also would like to emphasize that if in Ghana our real estate developers show themselves as being insensitive to these important global standards, they are likely to be isolated and they will not engage the attention of international investors, because international investors want to deal with people who are operating in a sustainable manner.
Chachu also urged the real estate industry players to make themselves relevant to the people.
I believe that real estate developers in Ghana have a huge opportunity to make themselves relevant to all sectors of the society, both the high-end real estate development and also the more affordable levels, the lower end and so on. They just need to study and appreciate what is needed at all those levels and make themselves relevant to the people of Ghana.
Now, Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Osafo-Maafo has expressed concern about the huge numbers of uncollected passports at the various passport centers in the country. Speaking during an update on results achieved under the Public Sector Reform Project, the Senior Presidential Advisor revealed that a total of 86,000 passports remain uncollected, a situation he describes as problematic.
Birth and death registry has also been improved. Printing of the relevant combined maternal and child health record booklets, and they have produced about 1.2 million of birth registry booklets for babies, newborn babies. Before then, birth and death registry were working under various schemes. There were about 3 different schemes. Now we have harmonized the 3 into a single scheme, and we are able to print that many free of charge to them. The passport office is mandated naturally to produce passport, and passport is a security document. So naturally, every country is very careful as to who can hold Ghanaian passport. You must be a Ghanaian to hold a Ghanaian passport. So in producing a passport, there are certain checks which they have to do to make sure that you are Ghanaian. And so far, we have been able to support them also to do a lot of in-house printing, and the most important machine of capturing the biodata of the individuals. You need to capture the biodata of the individual, the face, in a particular way so that you get your data right. We have now also done this, and all the key passport areas we are now doing and producing them in large quantities. My problem, and I've still not been able to understand, we are faced with a problem we ourselves don't understand. A number of people do not come to collect the passport. People are so anxious and do everything they can to get a passport. After we've gone through to produce the passports, they don't come to collect. Now these centers have these uncollected passports. Takoradi alone has 8,000. Cape Coast had 8,696. Accra has 19,500 passports uncollected. And because we subsidize the production of these passports, we are printing them for people at about $4 when we should be printing them for about $100. So it means the subsidy of all these passports is locked up capital of government. Am I clear? We have printed a passport for you at a cost of, say, $100. We've charged you only about $5. But you've not come to collect it. So the government investment in all these subsidized passports is a big problem. We did a quick count this morning and found out that we have a total of about 86,000 passports uncollected or made. So what do we do?
So if you're part of the 86,000 who have refused to go for your passports, please, we beg. Senior Minister, former Senior Minister, now Presidential Advisor says go for your passports. Government subsidized and produced the passport for you, charged you very little. So please go for your passports. 86,000 passports cannot be sitting at the various passport centers. And for those of you who have done that, how are you traveling? Because I'm sure that one of the reasons why you want to get your passport is to travel. So if your passport is there and you are not going for it, how do you intend to do so? Well, let's talk about the NDC now, because governance expert Dr. Frederick Kodjo is applauding the NDC government for opting to include members of the party in their 2024 campaign team. campaign. The governance analyst is of the view that this strategy shows their readiness for the battle ahead of them because the participation of an influential person like their party chairman, Johnson Esiru Nketia, will ease up the engagement with grassroots members and help secure resources that will support their drive.
If you look at Mr. Esiru Nketia, he is a consummate politician. If you want to talk about NDC, you cannot write NDC history without him. He is, although he started at the top, when he left government and went into party administration, he's put his hand on the pulse. He knows every part of the country. He's an approachable person and reachable individual. He gels very well with the grassroots of the party. If you have such a person running the campaign, he gets feedback from the most important sources, which is the grassroots. He's not going to rely on, some fake polls and other flattery information, but he gets the right information and it helps in the correct decision making. So it is very good they've chosen to do that. That idea of having a parallel campaign team working for the flag bearer and then the party hierarchy also working on another side doesn't help. You get to hear of reports of, we haven't received the resources, we haven't done that. Because when you form a campaign team, that is not in tune with the party at the base. They fail to know who they should reach out to. And anybody at all can just go to them and say, I'm going to send these resources to this point. But they never get there. But if you have individuals like, although he's important, he's the party chairperson, it's more critical about the fact that he's also in tune with the grassroots of the party. So I think it's a very good move, and it will inure to the benefit of President Mahama.
Now, Dr. Drosu believes the party has learned from the mistakes they made in 2020, which is evident by the makeup of their 2024 campaign team.
You look at the 2020 campaign team. Obviously, President Mahama wanted to form what I term to be a unity. Trying to present a united party. Because Professor Joshua Labi was made the campaign chairperson. And the party hierarchy, like individuals like the current chairman of the party, Mr. Nketia and the rest, they were not given a clearly defined roles. Of course, they were very active in the campaign, but they were not made the face of the campaign as they are being made now. Not like having a national chairperson in the mode of Mr. Nketia, who has worked for the party for so long and he has these kind of personal attributes that makes him so approachable and so reachable. But you can't say the same about, Professor Joshua Labi, who was supposed to be running the show. And then you also ask yourself, what kind of powers or what was the level of authority Professor Labi, what level of authority did he have within that campaign structure? And that should tell you that if you have such individuals at the helm of affairs, it makes a lot of difference from when you have so-called independent or people who are more or less outside the party structures. These individuals are within the party structures beside their personal attributes. So they know how to use the party structures and they know how to get the accurate information needed to prosecute an election.
Now, the police in Sefi Ajufo are located in the Biawais district of the Western North region have intercepted an articulated truck with the registration number AS398412 fully loaded with 800 bags of cocoa allegedly heading to La Côte d'Ivoire. This interception is part of the ongoing efforts to curb illegal activities and protect Ghana's cocoa industry.
The interception of 800 bags of cocoa allegedly heading to the Côte d'Ivoire occurred early Tuesday morning following a tip-off from intelligence officers of the Ghana Cocoa Board to police in Sechi Ejufua. Acting swiftly, the police set up a roadblock on a key route known to be used by the smugglers. Upon inspecting the track, they discovered a large consignment of 800 cocoa bags destined for illegal exports to the Ivory Coast. Preliminary investigations suggest that the cocoa, valued at several millions of cedis, was intended for illegal exports to the neighboring Côte d'Ivoire, where it could fetch higher prices due to different market conditions. An intelligence officer at the Ghana Cocoa Board in Bia West, Major Ebenezer Tete retired, gave highlights of the efforts that resulted in the apprehension.
Based on intelligence led and being on our education to our police in arms, that's within the security services, we are always liaising with them. And then based on the intelligence, we forwarded it to the police and then they intercepted this truck for us.
Despite ongoing efforts to combat cocoa smuggling, the practice remains rampant in the Western North region, contributing to a decline in cocoa production. Major Tete retired noted that several smuggling cases are pending in courts and urged those involved to cease their illegal activities.
We are informing all our security brothers along the border town to help us. We have educated them on the waybills and the movement of cocoa. We are also appealing to you, the radio station, that try and help us educate the people on air for us, that when you are caught, the system will deal with you.
He expressed satisfaction with the recent arrest and pledged continued efforts to apprehend those involved. The suspects involved in the smuggling attempt are currently in custody, assisting with further investigations. This operation is part of a concerted effort to combat the persistent issue of cocoa smuggling, which has plagued the region for years. As the authorities continue to crack down on cocoa smuggling, the hope is that these efforts will help stabilize and protect Ghana's vital cocoa industry.
Now, female tertiary students have been challenged to be dynamic in their career choices in order not to add up to Ghana's unemployment figures, which tilts heavily against young females. Corporate women and female entrepreneurs appeared to offer different reasons why young females consistently top the youth unemployment figures in Ghana. While some ladies insist most females are generally disadvantaged by gender stereotypes, others contend young female graduates are just not pushing hard enough. These concerns came up when the Women's Commission of the KNUST Humanities and Social Science Department and TICVA Africa organized an all-female conference on these teething challenges of unemployment. There's more in this report by Ultimate FM's Ivan Heathcote-Fumado.
Unemployed youth aged between 15 and 35 in Ghana hit an alarming 1.3 million in the first 3 quarters of 2023, with the rate among females consistently greater than males. An all-female She Power session held by TICVA Africa and the KNUST Department of Humanities and Social Sciences sought to find solutions before female students would transition into the labour markets. Senior resource consultant Amasapon Howard underscored the need for a study to find the missing link preventing young female graduates from landing jobs and rising through the ranks.
Being the only female in various companies, I was the only female at the time, but we eventually had others joining. Yes, it's there. It's just very hard to go through the ceiling.
Corporate coach and vice president for the Ghana Association of Insurers, Yvonne Shermaine Osei Ado, attributed the disproportionate gender tilt in the unemployment figures to the role society foists on women.
I grew up learning that women can multitask better than men. So yes, we can take care of the family, we can be leaders, we can be ambitious, and we can aspire to be more.
Project manager and co-founder for the Starr range of cosmetics, Lydia Safoa, took it out hard at female graduates for what she described as their fixation on white-collar jobs. She contends females should hone market-oriented and demand-driven skills that could earn them a good livelihood through entrepreneurship.
Everybody is waiting to be employed, and the unemployment rate is going high. So as graduates, when we come out, we shouldn't wait for someone to employ us. We should get a skill in addition to what we learned at the classrooms.
Project spearhead with Tigba Africa, John Barnes, is positive the confab, which sought answers to the gaps holding back the employability and entrepreneurial abilities of females, will provide better direction for the female students.
Ladies within the corporate field are facing a lot of challenges within the society, at their workplace and the rest.
Well, so that's Ivan Heathcote Fumado's reports from Ultimate FM all the way in Kumasi. And for those of you in Kumasi, you're definitely listening to us on Ultimate FM and our affiliates across the world. But it's time to bring you the latest in the world of sports, and no one does it better than Benjamin Yamwa, a.k.a. Benghazi. Benghazi, what's happening in sports today?
Well, thank you very much. If you are listening to us, like you said, in Kumasi, you're on 106.9 FM. If you are in Takrady, it is 102.7 FM. And, of course, our folks in Accra, 103.5 FM, Starr FM. So, in sports, Kodjo's head coach, Dr. Nate Oguma, stated that some of the players who have been released by the club did not meet the desired level the team requires. Now, Ogum's comments come after the Pokemon Rush released about 18 players, including the captain, Dalat Ibrahim, to be released out of the team by a mutual termination of their contracts. Now, the rest are currently in discussions with new players regarding potential transfers, with Olympics goalkeeper Benjamin Asare among the list of players who have been considered. Now, this, however, is Prosper Nate Ogum on the players, and how come most of these players have been placed on the list for, of course, transfer.
This actually did not augur well for us. These were not the ideal ones that I wanted. But then because of the period when I came in, most of the players I wanted had already been engaged by other clubs. So it was very difficult to get them. So because we had in mind a project of trying to reboard, so I thought it probably prudent that we bring in players from lower divisions to try and groom them. But then when they were brought in, I think the pressure, the dynamics of Kumasi Asante Kotoko are different from when you are playing or coaching other teams. So these players couldn't cope with the pressure, and that, as I said, created a lot of anxiety in them, and it actually didn't augur well. So ideally, these were not my first choice. I mean, what do you call it, players. Okay.
And so from Ghana, let's check out the happenings in the ongoing European Championships, where today Germany have become the first nation to qualify from the group stage after a 2-0 victory over their opponents, that's Hungary, in the ongoing championship being held in Germany. Goals from Jamal Musiala and Ilkay Gundogan was enough to see Germany win the game by 2-0. Earlier in the day, Croatia were held by Albania to a 2-2 draw result, which puts the Croatians' qualification in danger as they need a result in the last game to ensure they'll have a chance of qualifying from the group. Later on tonight at 7 p.m., we have Scotland in action against Switzerland in the last game for the day in the ongoing championship in the Euro. So that's it for sports.
Many thanks, Benghazi, for bringing us the latest updates in sports. So, has your sports minister said anything about his
his infamous query, if you like, on that? I mean, he hasn't, but it's been the team who really, and I'm happy that they spoke yesterday to us and gave us all those insights. We are still waiting. The latest I have actually is that. According to the team, they have done their accounting.
Right.
And so they have presented that to the head of the Paralympic Federation to forward it to the minister. They have done all the accounting of the amounts they received, how they used it, how they spent all the monies. They've done everything and given every detail to their head to be handed over to the minister. One thing is for sure. Not a single dime is returning. I mean, because the money is gone. They've used the money.
They've used the money.
Everything is gone.
Right.
That's what they've done. They've accounted for every bit of what they received.
Because that was what the minister asked of them, to come and do accounts, render accounts for the funds.
So they are waiting.
The funds that the ministry did not give them.
They are waiting on the minister now to receive, and then, of course, now announce what package they have for the team for having won what they won in Egypt. Because we need to get that. We can't allow this to go.
Right.
The team must be rewarded. We're talking about an amputee football team. Every serious nation
would have by now.
It takes a special look when it has to do with Paralympics, amputee, because they are special people. Let me use that word. If I can use it. So how you treat them is so important. So if our minister has gone this way, and I'm sure he's been called and spoken to, he totally went off.
Yeah.
So we are waiting on him now to come back,
apologize, and then do the needful.
Thank you very much.
Do the needful.
That's what we are waiting
Let's
for.
honor them.
Absolutely.
Because we're in a country where we talk about the fact that we don't pay attention to some sports. We even classify them as lesser known sports and all of that. And these are the things we are trying to...
And this is even special people.
Exactly.
Not just
doing amazing.
This is for doing amazing people who have taken it upon themselves not to allow their physical state to be a burden on the society, but rather are trying to impact. And they've gone out there to Africa, Egypt, to win the cup.
And this is not the welcome they deserve.
They beat Morocco to win the cup, a team that is well motivated.
Right.
To win the cup, and they come back home, and this is what it is.
And this is a team who left with government paying their air tickets
and appearance. Okay, like I mean, the participation fee.
Participation fee.
They have to go buy their.
They have to go to Qatar.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be going there tomorrow.
We'll go to
and I'll be going to Qatar tomorrow, and I'll check out where they got their jerseys. Benghazi, thank you so much for bringing us the latest in the world of sports, and that's our round out the bulletin right here on Star 103.5 FM. There's more news for you at starfm.com.gh. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Grateful for your company this evening. Let's repeat same tomorrow right here on Simply the Best, Star 103.5 FM. Grateful to Emmanuel Donko for, as always, ensuring that we're streaming smoothly and beautifully for you on Facebook. And many thanks to Benjamin Saki for also assisting with production right here from the Komla Dumo newsroom. At 6:30, we bring you Focus on Africa from the BBC. Do have a lovely evening.